Welcome to Timeless Pages, where we discuss and read public domain literature. I'm Carrie Claire Gleason, and let's get reading. Hello, welcome to Timeless Pages. This podcast will be a deep dive into the literary world, specifically into the public domain. Now, once a work enters the public domain, it is supposed to be free for anyone to use. Regrettably, a lot of times people still can't access these works as they are still held within some sort of publishing house, museum, music label, etc. They still require some kind of payment to enjoy them. Or the free online resources are sketchy and don't seem secure. I hope to bring works from the public domain to you, how they're intended to be enjoyed for free. Books you may not even think to read outside of schools or don't warrant a cost to purchase as they're old. We'll be reading through books, poems, novellas, and other literary works week by week. The theme song you just heard is Hello My Baby, written by husband and wife team Joseph E. Howard and Ida Emerson. You may recognize it from Mel Brooks' classic movie Spaceballs or the Looney Tunes cartoon One Froggy Evening, sung by Michigan J. Frog. It was a song that was created in 1899 and has been in the public domain since its inception. We will delve a little more on U.S. laws of public domain a little later. Works in the public domain are constantly a source for people to use for modern research, reference, or even for personal use. In 2024, Steamboat Willie, earliest rendition of Mickey Mouse, entered the public domain, and small businesses could use its likeness freely without fear of the Disney company claiming copyright. Public domain isn't just a place where older works go to die. They are a place for inspiration and should be available for anyone to enjoy, no matter what. Now, to explain what the public domain is, the Oxford Dictionary says that one meaning of public domain, noun, is the state of belonging or being available to the public as a whole, and therefore not subject to copyright. So simply, if there is no copyright, the public owns it. A little bit like the Green Bay Packers for those football fans. In the US, where every book and tale published before 1929 is in the public domain, US copyrights last for 95 years for books originally published between 1929 and 1978, if the copyright was properly registered and maintained. American works by Edgar Allan Poe, Frederick Douglass, Charles Alexander Eastman, aka Oisha, and more have been in the public domain for more than 100 years, as their works were completed and published prior to 1929. Other authors such as Agatha Christie, Virginia Woolf, and J.R.R. Tolkien won't have major works they wrote in the public domain for some time, due to the US updating their copyright laws in 1976. Many famous authors you might recognize are in the public domain, such as Jane Austen, Ernest Hemingway, Mark Twain, and of course, William Shakespeare. Today, this will be a shorter podcast, but we will be reading and talking about Sonnet 100 by William Shakespeare. This sonnet was written in 1609 and has been in the public domain for hundreds of years. Where art thou, Muse, that thou forgettest so long, to speak of which give thee all thy might? Spendest thou thy fury on some worthless song, darkening thy power to lend base subjects light? Return, forgetful Muse, and straight redeem in gentle numbers time so idly spent. Sing to the ear that doth lays esteem, and gives thy pen both skill and argument. Rise, restive muse, my love's sweet face survey. If time have any wrinkle graven there, if any be satire to decay, and make time's spoils despise everywhere, give my love fame faster than time wastes life, so thou preventest his scythe and crooked knife. Shakespeare was a master of his time of invoking many feelings in a sonnet, whether you believe he wrote everything he claims or not. A sonnet is a 14-line poem on a single issue or idea. In this sonnet, Shakespeare is speaking of his muse, who has possibly left him and hoping for their return in his own way. The way I interpret the first four lines are that Shakespeare is speaking out loud to no one, questioning the muse why they haven't been around and if they are doing this to affect his work, specifically making Shakespeare write a song rather than other works. In the Elizabethan era, songs were more popular than poems, and many writers can take a poem, add music, and then it's a song. However, serious writers didn't like songs as it was a lower form of art and writing. The next four lines, he's speaking of the muse being forgetful. Maybe they just lost track of time or were busy with other idle things, as they do in the Elizabethan era. Not purposeful to leave him. If they return, he can go back to writing things he wants to write, like they should want him to do. They're the only ones that could give him the will and the ability to write the way he wants to write. The next four lines, he speaks of the muse being resty. He probably didn't mean someone who was sleeping, more like someone who is inactive or idle, who hasn't been doing anything and is at rest. We know the muse hasn't been around to inspire Shakespeare, so saying they have been resty makes sense. He is also saying that the muse is youth, and looking at them will tell Shakespeare how much time has passed. If they've begun to wrinkle, they will know how cruel time can be because it means Shakespeare has aged as well. The final two lines, or the couplet, as it is known, talks about making the muse famous quicker than how time passes. So, in turn, Shakespeare will be more famous, and everyone will know him while he is youthful, before death comes to take it all away with their scythe, a common tool to show the Grim Reaper today. Shakespeare ultimately is worrying about his notoriety and death, not his muse being around him, which I think is relatable. We all worry about death at some point in our lives, and we all want to leave a mark on this world, right? Shakespeare's muse is someone to distract him. We all look for someone or something to distract us from time. Literature is one of those distractions that can help us with the scythe of time. Thank you all for listening along with me. I hope you enjoyed learning about the public domain. Our podcast will run a bit longer when we start delving into the books. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. Next time, our first book will be The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes by Sir Arthur Doyle, a collection of 12 short stories featuring the famous detective Sherlock Holmes and his loyal friend, Dr. Watson. Till we meet again, remember, every story has its final chapter, but ours is far from over. Stay curious, stay inspired, and keep listening. My name is Carrie Claire Gleason, and this is Timeless Pages.